People of the internet, you're watching Awkward Academy. This is our awkward audio where we discuss everything that's not directly related to games. It's a very broad topic. Sitting over here, the usual host, Justin, also known as Reverend Schmitty, also known as Nice Hair, as you've done it up nicely. It's very good.
I am Groot.
Totally. And I am Hooley, also known as Captain Virgin. This is our guest speaker today, who we've discussed actually to great detail, and he's actually in some of our earlier episodes. I don't know if those were ever...
Yeah, they're up.
Oh, excellent.
3 or 4 of them.
Cool. TJ.
He's a juggalo in one.
The Wandering Man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The Halloween one.
Also known as Currently Bushy Brows.
Yeah, you can edit that one out.
Keeping it in. They're very bushy. I like them. If Groucho Marx had a kid, you'd be it.
Thanks.
Alright. So we're discussing Guardians of the Galaxy 2. We have all recently seen it.
Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Awesome mix.
Awesome mix too. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and share our opinions of the movie. I'm going to go ahead and lead with one of my strong opinions on it, like my overarching opinion. And that is that it was a decent movie, but was not as good as the first one. I heard a lot of people saying it was better. Not my personal opinion. The mixed drink called the Awesome Mix that came out with the movie was amazing though. Turned it over to my other host. We're just going to go through, I guess.
I thought it was not as good as the first one as well, but I definitely still enjoyed it a lot. I did not try the Awesome Mix drink.
There's a drink?
There's a drink.
Yeah, where did you see it? Did you go to Premiere?
I went to AMC at Parks Mall in Arlington.
They have a bar.
Well, I was already out over in that area. So I went to Fry's and I got some long internet wire.
We
went to In-N-Out Burger and we decided to go see a movie.
Cool.
Yeah.
You got some new Ethernet cables?
Yeah, with my whole dad moving in.
Oh yeah.
I got a long
Cat
cable.
5s?
Yeah, because whenever I built my new computer, I don't have the wireless adapter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was built in my old motherboard, not this one. I don't know.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, me either. So now I have a 50-foot Ethernet cable running through my house.
I got 100 going through mine, across through the attic.
There you go. But yeah, that's why I went to...
We saw it at AMC here in Burleyville.
Oh yeah, over there where Hollywood used to be. Okay.
It was alright. A lot of noisy assholes to our right.
Yeah. And there was that one beautiful silence in the movie. I think it was right on Ego's planet. And it was in between several lines of script when it's just scenic panoramic shots. And this guy just rips one.
It's a really poignant moment. After some touching dialogue. And then it cuts to like he said, this nice scenic shot and you hear
Yes.
I mean, it sounded like it came from at least 5 seats down. It was a loud one.
Sorry, anyway.
Well, I really enjoyed the movie. I mean, I'm not really good at comparing movies. I liked them both probably equally. I actually watched the first one the next day out of Redbox.
Okay, so we got some differing opinions here. Because we avoided really discussing it in any detail. But Hooley was definitely more critical of it than I was, just on the drive home.
Yeah.
So, you just want to break it down, into some pros and cons, and then discuss those, or what? Because that's what I expected we would do.
Alright, so here's what I'll do with me. Okay, pros and cons. My pros, I would say, is I really liked the dialogue. Okay, the dialogue writing, the script writing for each moment, I think was milked to its comedic and emotional best. Even though I thought there was too much emotion to it, in my opinion, I felt like it was very, it was good. The writing for each part was good. The script was solid, which I liked. And the execution from the actors involved was amazing. I did do a little bit of I saw stuff on the backstory of the movies, and apparently for this one, they actually wrote the script for Batista as opposed to for an unnamed Drax actor. And for they're able to give him a lot more personality, which he shines 1,000 times better in this one. Rocket gets a lot more spotlight, which I liked a lot. Gamora, really not doing super well as things go. Once again, she's a female actress in a Marvel movie, so she has to be downplayed as much as she can. And then, of course, Peter Quill does have a bit more emotion behind him, and also Chris Pratt is perpetually improving as an actor. So, yeah, I thought that was the strongest point of the movie. Best thing about the movie. Okay. If it wasn't for the pacing and the story, like, I think that would have, like, drug it into being an awesome movie, in my opinion. Being better than the first one, even, because of how well fleshed out the characters. So that's me. Pro, and then con was, of course, emotion. So much emotion. I mean, they're already together. They're already friends. You don't have to have that done. Also, the final scene with the fireworks, that's vague enough to not be a spoiler, I thought was entirely unnecessary. Like, you're just trying really hard. Next up.
Me?
I mean,
Okay.
we're freeform.
Okay.
Well, see, I think it'd be easier flowing if we pick like one specific topic and all discuss it.
Okay.
Instead of everyone just dumping everything one by one.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so script writing, humor-wise. Okay, that's one of my pros. What are you guys feeling on it?
I'm more mixed on it. I thought most of it was funny, but then some of it, like all the stuff with making fun of the guy at Taserface, I thought that joke went on way too long, and it just wasn't fun.
Well, sometimes you gotta extend the humor like that, like in Family Guy, whenever they...
Family Guy fucking sucks.
Well, I love Family Guy. You know the part where Peter is like...
That was funny the first time, and then they kept doing it.
Well, it was hilarious. And I thought the same thing of this rocket going on about Taserface and Scrotum Head.
I didn't care for that part, but for the most part, I thought the writing was good. It was funny.
The part where Taserface was about to kill him, and Rocket was like, really being eloquently put about, yeah, go ahead and kill me, at least I don't have to be like, you know, and you just went on. I don't remember it, but it was like pretty solid writing even in that part. Like, it wasn't what they
I
said.
think it's somewhere
how they said
along
it.
the lines of, go ahead and kill me, at least I won't have to see that face anymore.
Yeah. But like, it wasn't what they said, it's how they said it, is what I really liked about the movie. Like, even the poor jokes were well written, just not really humorous. So.
I think I laughed at pretty much all the jokes I had in the movie.
I liked
I'm easy to please, though.
I liked Drax's humor a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the inclusion, which you did not, of the giant Pac-Man
Yeah.
at the end. I thought
lost
that
it.
was funny.
I lost
Gaudy.
it.
I did not care for David Hasselhoff just popping up out of nowhere.
Yeah, why?
Like, Jeff Bridges was mostly, you know, like playing it, you know, cool, like a god trying to be a dad, and then he
That's
just
Kurt Russell.
That was Kurt Russell.
oh, my bad. They look so alike to me.
Don't worry, I thought it was Patrick Swayze at first.
He's dead.
The young him did look kind of like Patrick Swayze, though.
Anyway, and then he just like transforms into David Hasselhoff randomly. That was just weird.
Yeah, it's because it went with Peter Quill's story of how he told everybody who was his dad.
No, I get that. I just
Yeah.
think it was dumb.
Yeah, I thought it was dumb.
I
too.
wouldn't have wrote that in. But overall, I thought it was really funny.
The CG in the movie was awesome. I have no complaints on any of the computer graphics.
I thought the celestial body form of Ego was pretty cool.
In that movie, that's another pro for me. Like, there wasn't a single part of that where I was like, that looks like shit.
I don't even count special effects as a thing in Marvel movies. Marvel and Disney, like the biggest behemoths there are in movies. Of course, the cinema, like the special effects are going to look good.
One
It
thing,
goes without saying.
one thing that I read about after I saw the movie is how whenever, oh god, what's that guy with the fin on his head? What's his name?
Yondu?
Yeah, Yondu and his
Also, we're doing total spoilers. Like, you hinted at the funeral earlier, but you didn't say what it was. We're just going to talk about it all.
Oh, fuck yeah. The spoilers were or the funeral the funeral was definitely, like, not necessary.
I like the funeral scene a lot.
I liked it too.
Like, you've been redeemed with the Ravagers. Really? You still broke the Ravager code. Okay, you were dealing in kids. Even if you were young, okay, you still were overcome with greed and sold out kids.
But then he saved the whole galaxy. And that kid. Now grown up.
Indeed.
Also, Yondu was one of the original Guardians of the Galaxy. He was like a really important character.
But what the original Guardians of the Galaxy weren't they like actually from the future, like 3100?
I believe so. They're actually the guys you see at the end with Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
They were the first in the comics of Guardians of the Galaxy in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. I read that they were actually from the future, though.
What are you talking about? The funeral scene. I like the funeral scene a lot. I thought it was well written.
Like it was a plug-in. Also, the Groot trying to find stuff scene, that was just tedious.
I liked it.
I liked it a lot. Baby Groot's my favorite character of the whole movie.
It's kind of like just reminded us that Groot's a child growing up. Kind of like whenever he was eating the beetle at the very beginning of the movie, and Rocket slapped it out of him.
Man, the opening with him just dancing and all the fighting going on in the background, that was the best part of the whole movie.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I liked the fact that you had like the enormous big fight scene, but they didn't actually bother to like go into it.
Yeah, and the fact that at the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy 1, whenever Baby Groot was dancing in the pot, Drax looked over and he froze.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same thing in this fight scene when Baby Groot's like all dancing around and Drax like falls next to him and looks at him and he just freezes until he goes flying away again.
My
Starts
favorite part
dancing
of
again.
all of it is when Gamora lands, she starts shooting at that thing they're fighting. She's like, Groot, get out of here, you're getting in the way. And he just waves at her. He's like, hi. And then goes back to fighting this giant alien.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was pretty fun.
So we all agree, humor was good.
Yeah.
As for how it was actually shot, like the cinematography itself, I thought is like top of like all the Marvel movies.
There was a lot of things cinematography that were pretty solid on that.
I love the panning shot. My favorite shot of the whole movie, Yondu and Rocket and Baby Groot.
And then that comes up over.
No, stop trying to talk over me. Let me finish.
Okay, fine, fuck it.
Yeah. You're not in my brain. You don't know what I got going on. I don't know what you're talking about going over. We go on to that next. When they're walking across that bridge, it's just that panning shot, and the arrow is just going everywhere, and it's like a slow, constant motion. I like that a lot.
Oh, inside whenever he's just killing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it whenever Baby Groot saw that guy was like dumping all the alcohol on him, started chasing him, and the guy was like scared. That was funny.
I love that Vin Diesel actually voiced Groot too.
Yeah.
Just with a lot of modulating. What were you talking about with the going over thing?
Oh, whenever Yondu and Rocket were inside the room that had all the cameras on it so they could see the entire ship. And
like right after the bridge one.
yeah, right after the bridge one, and then they're like going through the walls and shit, and then the camera pans up and you see like down and you see all the surrounding hallways and guys just getting like blown away and hit with the arrow and stuff. I thought that was good.
That was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Definitely. Very well shot movie, I thought. It didn't have that generic Marvel look to it. Like it's not, you can tell it's a different director with his own strong style. With a lot of his the creative choices they made. Like the trail that the arrow thing had, you could tell it was way elongated just for style points. You know, like you could see everywhere it had been.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. And the planets looked really, really cool too, especially Ego's planet.
You already had the face on it. It was all.
Well, that was straight out of the comics, but I mean, just the design of the planet with the little bubbles and all the weird looking plants and the caverns and everything just looked really cool.
I did like how colorful the bubbles were after Drax poked one.
Right. Character driven.
Yes.
So you talked about that earlier. Like you liked all the character dialogue basically.
Yeah, the way they just expanded on every single character, like gave each and every person like more. You know, like Drax shows a lot more Drax, and of course Peter. You see a little more Peter, but he was already the main character, so I mean, I feel like he didn't need a whole lot. Rocket, he had his like you actually got to see just Rocket being Rocket, which was awesome. Like guerrilla warfighter, bad A.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it was... And you got to see Baby Groot do Baby Groot things.
Like not press a button that kills everybody.
It was a grand moral dilemma.
What do you think?
About the character driven?
Yeah, about all the writing.
It's one of the more character driven movies Marvel has come out with.
Yeah.
I mean, without the... If there was different characters, it probably wouldn't be as good as a movie.
That's always hard to say though, because when they announced
Yeah,
the first one, everyone's like, "Who's this? Who's the Guardians of the Galaxy? Never heard of him." And then it wound up being awesome.
Properly executed, I guess you can make people care about anything.
Although what you just said though does make me think not the characters so much, but the cast they chose.
Yeah, like different actors.
They worked so well that even after just one movie, you're already thinking by the second one, it just wouldn't work. Like if it wasn't these guys.
Yeah.
Like if somebody left, it just wouldn't be the same.
Mm-hmm.
I liked most of it. I like character progression and the character arcs each of them had. Like Drax is becoming a little more normal, you know, with people. Like he tries to lie for Rocket when he tells him like, "Oh, they're probably after us because he stole the batteries." He's like, "Drax." He's like, "Oh yeah, like, he didn't steal anything. I don't know why they're after us." And he tells Mantis there at the end that she's not ugly on the inside. So it's like it seems like he's trying to relate to people more, you know. And then Gamora, you know, finds out from Nebula that she wants a family relationship, and so she starts to like family more. And then she's talking to Peter about his family and understanding more of what family can be. Peter was basically the same for me. Like, I think he got some closure finding his dad, finding out why his mom, you know, died the way she did, and then getting revenge. But I think his arc didn't really change much. He was already there from the first one.
He pretty much stayed the same.
Baby Groot got basically pulled back in character progression because they made him a dumb baby. Rocket, they pushed more into him not knowing what he was. Which was also weird to me because he used the colloquialism douchebag as an insult, but he doesn't know what a raccoon is? Doesn't really make any sense.
In the first one, he got really offended whenever he was called a raccoon.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, he just kind of played dumb.
Maybe it's context driven.
Mm.
Like it's just like, how do you call me a thing?
The trash panda thing was like straight out of imagery.
That one was funny.
Oh, it's probably a Reddit thing.
Yeah.
And then Yondu, I think Yondu had a lot of progression because you knew at the end of the first one, you know, he was like an antagonist, but he never really wanted to kill him. And then when he opened up the Infinity Stone case and it was a troll doll or something, he just laughed.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, you know, like he's not really a bad guy. You knew he's gonna come back. He came back. They gave him a lot more backstory, explained why he did what he did. Still chose, you know, not to kill any of them despite getting way more money from the gold people, whatever they were called.
The sovereign people.
Yeah, and then, like, I thought he had a cool death and a really cool send-off. I thought it was way better deserved than all the emotional dumps every single character had with somebody.
There were a lot of emotional.
Do you think
dumps in that
Nebula was that important to the movie? Because I don't
think she was supposed to be. I think she was purely there for Gamora's arc. And then, even then, Gamora's arc was really more Nebula's arc with her being a subject in it.
Yeah.
movie. I did learn about how Nebula became mechanical, though.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up. Pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Soundtrack. I like the soundtrack a lot.
Wasn't as good as the first one.
Big fan of classic rock. I like that old stuff. I didn't recognize as much of it as the first one, though.
There's a couple songs that I now want to listen to more because of it. Like Brandy, that was solid.
The one they talked about forever.
I have the soundtracks on my phone.
To both?
Yep.
Damn, that was quick.
Yeah.
There you go.
Spotify, man.
But more so than the music itself being what I like the fact that it really sets it apart from the other lineup. You know, all the other Marvel movies are always like these big, powerful, orchestrated scores, you know.
And occasionally you have like a plug-in for like Iron Man.
Even then they held on to it till the very last scene in the first one when he announces that he's Iron Man. And it played through the credits. This one, throughout the whole thing, music's a big thing. Like they have it in the prologue with the whole baby group plugging it in and everything, and like they never dump it. So both movies is always strong, and the Walkman getting smashed was like a big emotional moment. And he even said, you know, you shouldn't have killed my mom and squished my Walkman. And then they get the big final fight. And I like that. I like that approach. I've always listened to music. This guy hates it when we hang out.
Sometimes I just want to listen to the video game, not the music.
We already talked a little bit about designs. Like the overall cinematography, the planet looked cool. What did y'all think of the action scenes?
I didn't like the fight between the fight between Peter Quill and his dad was not like, I didn't like it that much as it goes. Like, you had a lot of blur, a lot of speed to it. Basically, it was like Super Saiyan fighting, majorly off camera, and it was unusual. Like, just two godly powerhouses punching each other.
Yeah, I bet you probably could have got a lot more if they used more of the celestial powers in it, in the fight. Like a lot more like blue sparks flying. Cool. It was probably very quiet.
I thought that was all pretty meh too, but I thought the rest of the action was pretty solid.
I think the Pac-Man thing made up for it.
Yeah, that was really funny.
I lost my shit in the theater whenever I saw that.
But like y'all touched on earlier, with Rocket setting up all those traps and jumping from tree to tree and knowing that they were all coming before they even got there, that's really cool. Not just for the action you see, but for what it says about the character, Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, I think it definitely like shows that it's not just the Peter Quill show.
Although I will say, on that subject of fights, did y'all realize that on like a fair fight, the only thing that was able to take on Yondu and win was a god controlling a planet? That's the only way he lost in either movie.
Yeah.
His whistle thing's is OP.
I agree.
Oh, shizzle.
But aside from the god thing, like y'all said, I liked the fight scene. It's not like a big action set piece the way, Iron Man is with the cool suit taking on other suits, or Thor, bashing away and shooting lightning at these other big, powerful people. They are a smaller scale.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought all of them had cool moments. But that ties into a negative I had, in that it seemed like a lot of the supporting cast didn't have nearly as much to do in the movie. Like, they had more dialogue for these little, character arcs. But like Drax, his big finale in the movie was screaming about his nipples and then running back and forth. He didn't get a big fight at the end. He just carried Mantis and ran. And Baby Groot, he was a baby, so of course he didn't get a big fight. He was the comic relief, and that was cool, whatever. Gamora, her big climactic scene was just running and then getting knocked out by Rocket. Same with Nebula. Mantis got knocked out in the funniest way possible, and they're having that big, cool panning scene around all of them in action hero poses. Dude, man, that. I love the sound effect, that dunk, and just knocked her out. The random debris that flew over, and afterwards, the way Drax is like, "Oh, look out!"
Okay.
So yeah, support cast seemed like they didn't have a lot to do to me.
I feel like I just want to see Drax go ham on something. Like,
yeah.
I really wanted in the first one, okay, to see like Drax and Ronan really duke it out.
He did, and he got his ass kicked.
I think it'd be cool.
Drax is not strong enough to take on.
Remember, he got drunk.
Oh yeah.
He called down the ship, and they got in that big fight. He got whooped.
Yeah.
I want to see Drax and Ronan really duke it out.
Ronan's dead.
Like, I want to see Drax really duke it out with something. Like, he's a big, super strong,
he
borderline indestructible guy.
He jumped inside that freaking abyssal alien or whatever and
And
started.
Gamora's the one that wrecked it.
Yeah. Because he is not that smart.
That was cool when he jumped out the back of the ship and shot that ship with a gun, though.
Yeah, that was cool.
pretty neat.
Die, spaceship! Yeah, like, they only had a couple cool moments. And, I don't know, it just didn't feel balanced very well to me. For such a good cast.
Rocket went ham, though.
I guess, he did a lot of flying around. A lot of shooting.
I thought the gravitational mines were pretty cool.
I like the way they designed that construction ship. With all the laser balls that just roll along those grooves. That was really cool.
As far as CGI is concerned, I feel like this movie was really heavy on it.
It's in outer space. What do you want him to do?
I mean,
It's a Marvel movie. What do you want him to do?
there are plenty of Marvel movies that had like CGI, but like you can have like scenes where you don't have it. I don't even think Guardians of the Galaxy had that luxury.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Well, then you have a character like Groot, who's whole CGI.
That's like saying Star Wars shouldn't be CGI at all.
It wasn't.
I mean, like new Star Wars, because now we have capabilities to make it look more realistic.
Whatever the case, it looked good.
So
What else do y'all want to cover? Got anything else? I got a couple.
Let's see. I thought Nebula being like Gamora's arc blue. I kind of wish they'd given Gamora a little more Gamora. That would have been great.
I think the third movie will be where she really... Like, I think right now, you know, she's always been in that shell, right? Being Thanos' daughter. And then now there's a bunch of cracks in it from... You know, she said, you know, she thought Peter had already found his family. So she considers all of them family. And then she straight up hugged Nebula. She admitted at the end to Peter that there's some unspoken feelings between them. I think the third one is when that really, you know, cracks open.
You know what I wish would happen? Some more story on Thanos.
That's going to be the big thing for the next Avengers movie.
Okay.
The Infinity War. That's where he shows up to
Okay.
wreck.
Part I really liked. Okay, I feel like a lot of
I've
people
only
might
ever
have
seen him like share.
Yeah.
I feel like people might have missed it, okay, or like just kind of disregarded it. But whenever Gamora got touched by Mantis, finally got touched, she was like, "You're scared," and Gamora was just like, "WTF? What'd you do to me?"
What about it?
But that was right after she found all the skulls.
Yeah, but like, I mean, it was like you see the character Gamora was actually unnerved by the fact that her fear was brought crawling out of the light.
I didn't think it was that at all.
It wasn't
Mantis
really...
said she can change emotions. She put fear in her to make her let go. Because she was holding Mantis up by the throat. She made her recoil in fear so she would stop choking her. And that's why she's like, "What did you do to me?" And then she recovered. That's what I thought.
Oh.
The same way she can push sleep.
Either way, I thought it was pretty cool.
Reading it your way is cool. Reading it the way I thought it was is like Mantis' only thing. I'm really curious what she's gonna bring to the group. You know? Like, they played around with her possibly having super strength. Because when that thing exploded, or they got flung out of the ship, you know? Like, you see Drax land, you see Gamora land, and then Mantis lands too. Like, from way up there like it was nothing. So, I wonder what she could do. Because in this movie, all she did was sleep Ego once and then get knocked out. Along with the supporting cast being kind of weak, I thought the villains sucked.
Yeah, they weren't really that good.
Like, if the gold people, you know, because they were kind of like funny villains, if they had just had all their ships wiped out when Ego showed up the first time, and they left it at that, it would have been cool. But then to have another swarm of ships follow them all the way to through, what was it, 700 jumps?
750.
750 jumps to get to Ego's planet and go down into the core of it. I was just like, what the hell are these idiots still doing here?
Yeah. And on that point, if they're that strong, how come they needed the Guardians of the Galaxy to against that alien in the first place?
I think that's what they said in the beginning, is they won't endanger the lives of one of their own. Because they're all designed to be some.
Yeah, that's right.
Interesting thing is, like, did their second jump in actually affect the plot at all?
Did what?
Did, like, you know, the gold people showing up again the second time on Ego, like, affect the plot at all? Like, when you think about it, like, things...
They blew up their ship. Effectively killed Yondu.
Ah. I got you. There was a lot going on in that movie.
Yeah, it was a very busy movie. Like, I thought the plot was basically non-existent, and the pacing was off because it was purely, like, 100% only on character progression. But without the storyline to guide it, I decided it came off like too many emotional dumps. Like, every other scene was somebody being like, "I just wanted blah blah blah." And now we're okay, you and me. Now we're bros for life.
Yeah.
You know?
Ride or die.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Those guys at the ride, they kept talking through the whole thing. When Drax is like, we don't have friends, we're family. They were like, Fast and Furious, Vin Diesel's Groot in this movie. It's like, well, you're not wrong. They're both big, muscular, bald guys.
Those guys were douchebags, and I hated them all.
Yeah.
People at the theater. That sucks.
Also, those guys that were in our seats.
Yeah, the reserved seats, and we got there, and there's these two guys sitting in our seats. We made them get up.
Like, and what's even worse is they tried to like keep it by like scooting over one, and one of them was still in my seat. So I'm just like, actually, I'm there, and he's there.
Even better is after that guy was like, oh, hey, can you guys scoot down one? And the other guy's like, no, I actually paid for this seat.
Like, the fuck
And
is
they,
up with
they
those
got
guys?
up and moved it back a couple rows.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah, small town,
Freeloaders.
like suburbs Burleson is not ready for reserved seat like theaters. We're not classy enough for it.
I like Burleson.
So, I've got one last point I wanted to hit. You guys got anything left?
I'm out.
good.
Alright. So, I think for me, a big part of why this movie wasn't as good as the first one, aside from all the emotional dumps and whatnot, is now that they are galaxy-wide famous heroes, it's not as cool as being a ragtag group of anti-heroes. It's just not as cool.
How are they gonna get contracts is what I'm wondering, because like it seems like they got this interesting past of just like the guys that hired them or that were good with them in the first movie after they like pardoned them and everything.
Mhm.
I mean, they probably have a decent reputation.
The
with them,
Xandarians?
the Xandarians. But the gold people, okay, they're gonna be like, hey, we hired these guys for a contract, and they stole all our fucking batteries. Like,
It's all of them.
stole a bunch of batteries.
It's like 5.
Like, understandably, I could see the anti-hero thing kind of interfering with their ability to get like legitimate contracts.
Be just like hiring a bounty hunter.
That and at the end with Rocket's ending to his arc, you know, comparing himself to Yondu, when Yondu died, and Peter realized he was talking about himself and not Yondu. It kind of sounds like he's gonna stop, stealing stuff he doesn't need just to cause issues with people around him.
Like the guy's leg.
Man, that was an awesome scene in the first one. I like that.
The eye was a good like throwback to that.
Right?
Yeah. So, and I need his eye. No, you don't.
Yeah, now that they're just heroes, it doesn't have that same vibe, Like, if I was going to take one scene from both Guardians of the Galaxy movies and be like, this right here is what epitomizes them to me, it would be the scene of all of them in the prison lineup. Like when the guys are just going through, talking about who's who and what's what, and then Peter like flips them off and they blur out the hand and all that stuff.
Oh, my bad.
That one scene, I think, is like the ultimate, this is what the Guardians of the Galaxy are. And you don't really have that in the second one, because now, like, everyone loves them.
I think it'd be cool if they like got in deep shit with a legitimate law enforcement again.
Like the Xandarians again or something?
I mean, if it's not the Zendarians, like, if they actually did get defeated and were like incarcerated or at death's door or even killed.
I'm sure the sovereign people still don't like them.
Understandable.
Yeah, apparently that guy that they made is Adam Warlock. And from what I've read, he's basically a really powerful superhero.
He did have possession of all 6 Infinity Stones at one time, which made him one of the most powerful beings in existence in the comic books.
So there's that.
Yeah. He also used to have an Infinity Stone into his forehead.
Like the Vision.
Yeah, like Vision.
Oh,
However, where did Adam Warlock come into the movie? I don't really remember seeing him there.
it was an after credit thing you might have missed.
Oh, okay, yeah, I had to go piss.
Yeah,
So-
the gold dudes.
The Sovereign or whatever created Adam, this big, it looked almost like a machine sarcophagus to me.
Look kind of like the Captain America pod.
Interesting. That's supposed to be like their new breeding pod for the future. And apparently it's going to be Adam Warlock. And also, I read that the OG Guardians of the Galaxy with Stallone in them, every single one of them is played by like a famous character or actor, actress.
Okay.
Like the glass guy, I forget his name, starts with an M. He's voiced by Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor in Smallville, the bald guy, and he has a show called Impastor right now.
Okay. I know Miley Cyrus voiced one of those people.
She was
too.
the talking helmet. So they got all these big names. They're definitely going to do something with that group. But I don't know what.
Maybe they'll have their own little... Nah, I don't know.
There's a lot of conjecture. Are they going to get their own spin-off? Are they just going to show up in Guardians 3? Are they going to play a part in the next Avengers movie? Will the Guardians of the Galaxy we know and love be in the Avengers movie?
That'd be cool.
That'd be crazy, man. This cast is supposed to be like 84 people.
Well, with like the Infinity Stones or whatever coming into play in the next Avengers, I wouldn't be surprised that we didn't see the Guardians of the Galaxy there.
That's true. But I mean, like every Marvel movie since they created the continuity, every time something big happens, I'm like, why aren't the other guys showing up?
Yeah.
Good point.
Like when that giant dark elf spaceship thing was crashing on Thor, I'm like, where's Tony and everybody? Why are they helping a bro out, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see with like the Doctor Strange, okay, it was somewhat explained. Like it was like a mystical, unstoppable force that appears, and like everything happened in the span of the tiniest amount of time. Like 1 second it's happening on this side of the globe, next second it's happening on this side of the globe, next thing it's happening on that side of the globe. Like I could see why the Avengers wouldn't be on it immediately, and it's a mystical threat.
I'm definitely curious where they're how he's gonna play into it too.
Yeah.
Because Doctor Strange, I think we talked about it briefly in a past episode. I really liked the movie, but I thought the action sucked.
Yeah.
Like the only spell he ever uses is the portal thing.
You know, I never did see Doctor Strange. However, whenever I was taking somebody to jail, I was doing some paperwork. I saw it, one of the jail sergeant or whatever watching. It looked very interesting.
Well, the majority of all of them, except for the big bads that can move the environment, everyone else is just portals. Everything else is just fist fighting and swords. Not really a whole lot of magic.
Could they like turn those sticks into like different weapons?
It's still just like hand-to-hand fighting. Why not shoot some fireballs or some lightning or something, you know?
Yeah,
Why not cast a magic missile?
Anyway,
Because
that's like
that's a
Guardians of the
level
Galaxy.
1 spell,
Either way.
Take us home, Hooley.
So, this has actually lasted a bit longer than anticipated. We had a few
That's what I always
deviations, and we have some wonderful time to edit out of this. So if it looks kind of broken up, blame women. This is Awkward Academy signing out, and you can reach him at Twitter at Reverend Schmitty. Okay, me at Captain_Virgin, and him at I don't know. So have a great day.